Welcome back to the channel, guys. Once again, it is your LB podcast, the Liverpool Brothers podcast, and we are here to do an end of season Premier League end of season chat. So we are going to look into a few things, notably among the manager of the season. We are going to look at player of the season, also the team of the season, and whatnot. So let's get into it, Stana. Let's start with the manager of the season. There are a lot of conversations about this, and the Premier League nominations that has come out includes the following coaches. Number one is Keith Andrews. Number two, we have Mikel Arteta. Michael Carrick is number three. Pep Guardiola is also on the list. Andoni Raiola and Reggie Lebris. So these are the nominees for the Premier League Manager of the season. Who are you going for? And or just give me your top three, and also who you put as the number one.
Obviously, manager of the season, most people pivot towards who win the title or the managers who compete for the title. But I look a bit on the context of the season before the season started, the target for each manager and where each manager got to. And if I look at Teta, Pep Guardiola, they were maybe front runners alongside Liverpool to win the title. And of course, Arsenal, congratulations to them for winning it. But I think it was about time for Arsenal to win it. My manager of the season, Carrick, has also done well, coming in half of the season and doing what he's done at United is also remarkable. But my manager of the season goes to Keith Andrews. I think from the start of the season, most people tipped Brentford to go down in the Championship. Bringing in, they lost their backroom staff, they lost their manager who was there for the best part of a decade, they lost their captain in Christian Norgard, who had been there for many years. They lost their best player in Brian Mbeumo, their second best player in Yuan Wisa, and still went on to have this kind of performance. I think it's really remarkable the job that Keith Andrews has done, bringing in Jordan Henderson and like so. My manager would be Keith Andrews to win it. I think the next one I'm looking at is Andoni Raiola, because I look at his team last season and the number of players that he lost. He lost his whole back line. He lost his left back to Liverpool, the centre back player, one to Real Madrid, one to PSG. This is the caliber of teams that he lost players to. In the middle of the season, he went on to lose his best player, Antoine Semenyo. And he still went about 17, 18 games unbeaten, the best run in Europe. So I think kudos to him as well. He would be my second manager. And maybe the third one, I would go with Lebris of Sunderland, who was also probably tipped down to go to relegation, the same as Brentford. So those would be my three managers that I would go for.
Yeah, very good, very good. So you said number one is who? Keith Andrews. Number two,
Raiola.
Okay, and then
Lebris.
Reggie Lebris. Okay, yeah. So for me, I've thought about this a little bit, and my picks are the following. Number one for me is Reggie Lebris, mainly because he brought Sunderland from the Championship into the Premier League, and within the first season, you make Europa League. That is absolutely astonishing. Brentford was already in the Premier League, so that is why I wouldn't go for Keith Andrews. My second manager of the season pick is Michael Carrick, because I look at where United finished last season, and also this season, the way they started, it was a bit better than last season, but they were still quite far off from where they finished at the end of the season. And I think it is all down to Michael Carrick. And it is not just about them winning games. You see the style of play, the quick passing, the intricate passing, sharp, quick movement. It's absolutely incredible how much transformation he's brought to Manchester United within this short period of time. And I look at the teams that he was able to beat on his way to finishing third in the Premier League. And there's a statistics that also says that since he came into the Premier League, he's top of the league. So what it means is that if he had started the league, he probably would have won it, looking at the points tally that he was able to accumulate. So that is why I'll go with Michael Carrick as my second pick. And then third on that list, who is going to be my third pick? Andoni Iraola. Iraola is going to be my third pick. I would have probably gone for this guy who is not on the list, Una Emery, who is not on the list, mainly
Yeah,
because he won a trophy
yeah,
in Europe, but that is not in the Premier League. So I decided not to bring him. But Andoni Raiola has been excellent for Bournemouth. So
yeah,
those are my picks.
yeah. You
Um,
make very good picks.
yeah, yeah. It's I think for some of these things, it's always everybody has a good reason for going
Yeah,
for a particular pick
exactly.
or the other. So yeah, you can't agree with everybody. That's how it is. Let's look at the player of the season, the big one.
Yeah.
And here, I think the the controversial thing about the player of the season is that a lot of people are not going for the Arsenal boys, even though they won the league.
The
So that
Premier
is where the
League.
controversy is. But I'll mention the names quickly, and then we'll see which one we'll go for and do our top three. So we have Bruno Fernandes, Gabriel Magalhaes, Morgan Gibbs White, Ellen Haaland, David Raya, Declan Rice, Antoine Semenyo, and Igor Thiago.
I mean, most people who listen to me already know who I've picked for player of the year, and I said Bruno Fernandes mainly because I think he's been outstanding for Manchester United. I'm not just looking at the sheer volume of the assists. I think his overall impact in the game and the carry job. It's a real carry job for him carrying Manchester United from the position they were last season to finishing third in the league. I think if you mention Michael Carrick, the next person you are talking about is Bruno Fernandes, and I think finishing third has got everything to do with him aside Michael Carrick. So he will be my first one. My second one, I'm looking at David Raya. I think some of the saves that he makes are absolutely incredible, and I'm looking at him, especially also because of the volume of clean sheets. It's 19 clean sheets. That's a lot of clean sheets, and it's not just this season. I think we need to give him a lot of flowers for the consistency he's shown since he came to Arsenal. The development coming from Brentford. There were a lot of talk back then. Is he actually better than Raya? Why is Arteta causing conflicts in his own dressing room by bringing in the goalkeeper? That is not necessarily better than Raya, but better than Ramsdale, but he has proved that he is better than Ramsdale and is really improved. So Ryan will be my second pick. My third one, I would go Erling Haaland. I think most people overlook Erling Haaland mostly because it's the standard. And when you come in your first year, you score 36 Premier League goals. The bare minimum is that we expect you to score at least the same number of goals or a bit similar. So whenever it goes below that figure, we don't really rate it that much. But I think he still had an exceptional season in terms of the sheer number of goals. He has the highest goals and assists combined in the league this season. So my third top scorer, my third best player in the league, I'll give it to Erling Haaland for keeping Manchester City in the title race for as long as he did. Because I don't think they were as good as they were able to compete, although they fell short in there. So those are my top three.
Okay, nice one there. I think I agree for the most part with the players you've gone for, but I also have a different idea. For me, my first pick would be David Raya. I think normally we over rely on the numbers to give these kinds of awards to players. So I think Bruno Fernandes' name is on the top, and he's probably going to win it, and because he has the numbers. And sometimes I also do think that there's overemphasis on attacking input or attacking contribution, so either assist or goals. But those at the back who prevent the goals from going in, they don't get enough plaudits for the hard work they put in. So that is why I'll go for David Raya, because he kept a lot of clean sheets, and that, even though it was mainly due to the fact that Arsenal as a team was very solid during the season, he also made
Yeah,
some very good saves.
yeah,
Individual
he did.
performance. For me, this is an individual award, and it should be based solely on individual performance, what you contributed to the team. And in the end, Raya's contribution won Arsenal the league. Without Raya's contribution, they probably wouldn't have won it, in spite of their good defense. he also had to step up and make some very, very crucial saves. So that is why I'll go
Yeah.
for David Raya. My second pick would be Bruno Fernandes, of course, for the assist, for the goals, for dragging United from where they were to the third position in the league. My third pick is Antoine Semenyo. That is where I think mine is quite different from yours. I will give it to Antoine Semenyo for the fact that he moved teams and still continued with that vein of form that he was on even when he was at Bournemouth. Coming to City, the high expectations that were on him, he was playing more games than he was supposed to play when he was at Bournemouth. He adjusted to that expectation. He won the FA Cup with City, and he even improved City in the Premier League as well. So I think that is why I would go for Semenyo as my third pick. So my first pick is David Raya, second Bruno Fernandes, and then Antoine Semenyo would be my third pick. Honorable mention is I got Thiago, but we don't have a lot of time to discuss
He
that.
would be my
So
honorable mention as well.
yeah. Now let's go to the Young Player of the Season nominations. So the Young Player of the Season nominations, we have Ryan Cherki, Matheus Fernandes of West Ham United, Lewis Hall, Newcastle United, Michael Coyote, this guy, of Brentford, Junior Krupi, Bournemouth, Kobe Mainoo of Manchester United, Nico O'Reilly, and Alex Scott of Bournemouth. So what would be your pick here? Let's do just one single pick.
I'll go for Nico O'Reilly. I think the impact of Nico O'Reilly, especially during the running, that is very important. The running that Manchester City had and his impact in it, in terms of his goal scoring, big game moments, the personality he showed. Because at the start of the season, no one would have picked Nico O'Reilly. I think from the start of the season, you were to pick those you think would win Player of the Season. You might probably have mentioned Rancherki's name in there because he has the quality and he's a top quality player. And I really love watching him play as well. He would have probably been my second or third pick. But I think for the context of where Nico O'Reilly was in terms of his position in the team and for him to come up trumps for Manchester City, especially during the League Cup final, the FA Cup final, I think it's been really amazing. And I would love to see him at the World Cup as well. So I'll go Nico O'Reilly.
Okay, nice one. So Nico O'Reilly for you. In my case, I'm torn between Nico O'Reilly and Kobe Mainoo because I think Kobe Mainoo had to overcome a lot of challenges, a lot of obstacles. He really had to stay mentally strong to be able to finish the season the way he did. And in the end, he also earned a call up to the English national team. So I think, yeah, from the beginning of the season, the way things started, the way things were going, he almost got a move in January to join another team or to move out of the Premier League altogether.
Yeah.
And to go away from that to the performances he put in, week out. But I'll go with Nico O'Reilly with you as well. I think the guy really stepped up massively. He was one of the main reasons for City being able to mount some sort of a challenge to the title race. So I'll give it to Nico O'Reilly as well. But I think honorable mention is Ryan Cherki. Obviously, he did play very well this season. And then also Junior Krupi would be another honorable mention. So quickly away from that, next season, let's try and look into next season. Who are the potential title winners for next season? Are we going to still see the same old race between Liverpool or City, or between Arsenal and Liverpool or Arsenal and City? Is it going to be the same old names, or do you think we are going to have some new entrants into the title race, given what Manchester United have shown under Carrick? Also, the fact that Alonso is coming to Chelsea, is that going to have any effect on the teams that we are going to see challenging for the Premier League title? Now, it is very open. It is very open. The linchpin, the SI unit of football is gone. It's out of the Premier League.
Yeah.
So it is there for anyone to win.
Yeah, the establishment has left the building, and now it is anybody's game. It's quite difficult to predict as a pundit to say to be so convinced that this is where the title is going next season, or even to pick even two clubs. It's very difficult to pick even just two clubs to say that this and this club will be going neck and neck for the title next year. I think it's very difficult. I think that um, if you do certain things right in the window next season, you could have a chance of winning the Premier. I think that's how um, not so difficult it can be next season, because I'm looking at Arsenal, the way that they won the Premier League. I don't think they would be running away with it next season either. I think they will still be in and around the title, no doubt about it, because they have a young squad, a core group, and after winning the title, it means that most of their key players will be staying put as well. So it means that they wouldn't be weakening in the window like Liverpool did, losing players and trying to replenish the squad by bringing new faces in the door. Then it becomes a bit of a rebuilding phase again. I don't think it would be that sort of situation that Liverpool face. So Arsenal will be going in strong again next season. I think Chelsea could be in the hunt. I know Chelsea didn't finish in the European places, but I'm looking at their squad. There are still quality players in there. Xabi Alonso coming in. I think giving him, if they give him the chance to get the players in the door that he wants, and he can get a few things right and get some of the players on side and get their confidence going again, I think Chelsea could be not necessarily be in the fight to win the Premier League, but I think they could be in and around the title in terms of the top four, top five places. I think Manchester United, if all things being equal, they can keep up this form, this round of form that Michael Carrick has started with. I think next season there will be a force to be reckoned with as well. So I think um, there are a lot of teams that could probably be in the fight. If I'm to choose one or two, I'd say Arsenal, I'd say Manchester United, and let's not rule out Manchester City as well. They still got a really good team, and Enzo Maresca is a top manager as well. I firmly believe that, even though I don't think they won't necessarily hit the same height that they have this season. I think this season they punch above their weight a little bit, but there's a transfer window again, and we know Manchester City buys well actually. So in terms of the recruitment that they would bring in the door, I think Enzo Maresca could be a problem for the Premier League next season. So I'll go United, I'll go Arsenal, and I'll go Manchester City. And I think for the rest of Liverpool, Chelsea, I would even say Tottenham Hotspur under Roberto De Zerbi would all be in the hunt for European places next season. But I don't think those other teams would quite make it in terms of challenging for the Premier League title. That is if Arne Slot is still the Liverpool manager. That is why I'm not picking Liverpool in there. But that is my take on the title next season.
Okay. Yeah. So I think next season, the main thing that I have to say about next season is that United are going to be extremely good. From the evidence that I've seen this season from Carrick, they are going to be very good next season. No matter how you look at it, forget about Champions League coming in to pile up the fixture pressure on them. They are still going to be good in the Premier League. I think that is something that we should all expect for sure. They are still going to be good. Chelsea. I think with Chelsea, I believe Alonso is that good. He is good enough to be able to revive the Chelsea team, barring any interferences from the hierarchy. Alonso's only problem at Chelsea would be the hierarchy. Those are the top. They are going to be the Achilles heel of Alonso. Without them, I think this Chelsea team is good enough. They should have been able to challenge for the Premier League this season. They were good enough to challenge this season. The only thing they were lacking is a good manager. And the good manager was sacked, or he parted ways with the club because of certain things that he didn't agree with. But for me, I think Alonso is good enough to be able to step into a team like Chelsea in his first season and challenge for the title. Maybe he might not win it in the end, but challenging for the title, I think is very possible. Manchester City. When I look at the Manchester City team currently, and the fact that Enzo Maresca is the one coming in. For me, Enzo Maresca going to Manchester City, it is not a new manager. It is not a new job for Enzo Maresca. It is just like someone who was already in the team, who went for a sabbatical leave and he's back in the team. He knows the environment already. He knows most of the players already. So this is not going to be like he needs time to adjust or he needs time to figure out. No. It is going to be hitting the ground running immediately for Enzo Maresca and this Manchester City team. And apart from the few players who are leaving the City team, the core of the team is already there. There will be a few additions, of course, in the summer. But this core of the team that is already there is extremely hungry to go after the Premier League next season. They are extremely hungry. Nothing is going to make them think that it will be okay to finish second, even. So they are going to go in very hard for the Premier League. I haven't mentioned Arsenal. The reason why I haven't added Arsenal is because most often than not, it is quite an exception for the team that wins the Premier League to come back again the following season and do even better than what they did, or even replicate the same form they had the following season, the previous season. So normally, when a team wins the Premier League, they drop off the next season. That is the norm in the Premier League. There are a few exceptions under coaches like Mourinho, who did it back to back, Pep Guardiola, who did it 4 times in a row, and Alex Ferguson, who was able to also do it, I think, 3 times in a row. So those are exceptions. And I don't see Mikel Arteta being in that bracket of exceptional managers who can be able.
Don't you think he was still being in and around the race though?
I think he will be in and around the race, but he's going to drop off. Maybe the highest I'll give Arsenal would be 3rd place. Because this season, I think this season has taken a lot out of the team. Coming back next season and bringing back the same energy, going again full throttle is going to be extremely difficult. Not that they wouldn't try to do it, they will try, but getting it out is going to be, they would need an exceptional manager to be able to do it. And I don't see Arteta as that kind of manager who will be able to bring that again. Don't forget that they've been doing this for 4 seasons in a row. So it would take a toll on the team already. So it's going to take a toll on the team already because of what has happened prior to them winning the league this particular season. They've had to really stretch themselves, and you can't be doing this season in, season out. It's not possible. So I think that there's going to be a drop off for us now, even though they are still going to be in and around. So, but my favorites to win the league would be Manchester United, Manchester City, and Chelsea if everything goes well for Xabi Alonso. For Liverpool, the reason why I don't think Liverpool is going to challenge is that Arne Slot is still the manager. And on the basis of what I saw this season, not just the whole season, but towards the end of the season, I do not really think that there's going to be a massive improvement at the start of next season. If we had seen some sort of bounce back towards the end of this season, in the last 5 to 10 games, I would have said that Liverpool might be in the hunt to try and win the Premier League. But I do see an improvement in Liverpool, but I don't think it is going to be enough to compete to win the title. Probably 3rd place finish or a 4th place finish would be what I would expect Liverpool to get, because even though there would be an improvement, I don't see it being a massive improvement. That is the case. For me, Liverpool, if they keep Arne Slot, the best chance of competing for the Premier League would be the season after next season. That is how I see it, because I don't think just the summer break and adding new players alone will be able to solve the issue. The issue is mental. It's about the mentality throughout the whole team, throughout the club. And that would take some time to change. So that is how I see it going next season. So let's end this here. I think we spent over 20 minutes. So we'll end it here, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you are new here, and comment down below. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you later. Take care.